Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Fantasasta. This is Battlefield 1. In today's weapon review, we're taking a closer look at the Hellriegel 1915 Defensive, the new version of the level 10 unlock for the Assault class in Battlefield 1. Now, obviously, before we get into the stats, the weapon, how do you unlock it? Well, you're going to have to perform 300 kills with the normal Hellriegel 1915 factory, which obviously means you're going to have the weapon unlocked to do so. Another thing to note about this is that these kills have to be post-spring patch, so if you already have 1000 kills with the Hellriegel, that's not actually going to help you unlock this weapon as of now. Furthermore, the second part of the challenge, and by far the most annoying part, is the 25 kills with 18 mines. By the way, you can drop these from your light tank, any tank that can drop mines, or of course, as an assault player yourself. Now, a few tips on getting those mine kills, because it will take you quite a bit of time, and it can be quite frustrating, as I found when trying to unlock this weapon. The best game mode to use mines on, at least in my experience, is going to be operations, specifically the St. Quentin Scar Amiens operation, as well as the Montegrappa Empire's Edge operation, because both of those operations have relatively reliable, that is to say, predictable vehicle pathing, and that's what you're essentially looking for. You want to predict where that tank is going to drive through so that you can position your mines accordingly. Another tip for those of you not familiar with placing mines, as I was before this challenge, try to find a space or a hole where you can hide the mines better. Mines simply placed on a flat surface are relatively easy to see and won't net you the kills you're looking for. However, if you can place your mines in a small hole, either one that is naturally there or one that has been caused by some sort of explosion, you can also cause this explosion yourself, for example by getting some dynamite on the job, is less likely to be found and thus more likely to net you those kills you need. Once, however, you have unlocked this weapon, finally, it took me quite a bit of time. How good is it really? Well, taking a look at the stats, it's a mixed picture. It has the same damage model as the normal Hellriegel. That's the same maximum damage of 23 and a minimum damage of 13.5. It has the same fire rate at 650 rounds per minute. No surprises there. A magazine size record high for the assault class, beating the previous record held of course by the 1915 factory version of the Hellriegel at 120 rounds, more than most LMGs in Battlefield 1, enough to chew through what is essentially half the enemy team. Reload times are also identical, relatively lengthy, however given the magazine size of this gun, absolutely irrelevant at 3.75 and 4.5 seconds, 4.5 obviously being the longer reload. When it comes to recoil, this is where things get more interesting, and that is because, well, the recoil stat is obviously different from the normal Hellriegel. That is to say, it is significantly more, with 0.4 vertical versus the 0.28 of the normal Hellriegel, as well as 0.475 to the left and right versus the 0.38 of the normal Hellriegel. This gun kicks significantly more than the Hellriegel, and the Hellriegel, the normal Hellriegel, already had quite a bit of horizontal recoil, the recoil stat that obviously isn't controllable and essentially makes your gun as inaccurate as adding spread to it would. Other than that, the stats with the Hellriegel defensive are all the same to the normal Hellriegel. That is to say, a normal ADS, standing, aiming down sight while not moving, of 0.3, and ADS while moving of 0.5, and hipfire, decent but not great for the assault SMG category at 2.25 while standing, moving, and hipfiring simultaneously. With the stats then out of the way, what further attributes does the Hellriegel defensive have that differentiate it from the normal Hellriegel factory? Well, first of all, it's got an optic, which helps, at least in my experience, for those not too comfortable with iron sights, to be more accurate. And being accurate is obviously important with whatever gun you're using. I personally, in my experience, found myself being a little bit more accurate with the Hellriegel as well, thanks to its optic. However, the difference isn't too big, and the large housing of the Hellriegel 1915 defensive makes it sometimes difficult to see all the targets you would like to see that you may not miss if you were looking at it through the iron sights. Another thing to note about this gun is that it now has a bipod. This is situationally powerful, however, you're not going to want to play the gun in a fashion that facilitates bipod performance consistently. Why? Well, as soon as you set up a bipod, especially if you're prone, you're going to be food for snipers. And that is to say, if you don't position yourself well with only limited sight on the enemies, and as such the enemies only having limited sight on you, you're going to get caught out by a sniper and you're going to get yourself headshotted. Not obviously an ideal situation. If you use the bipod in a more casual, as you go through the map way, that is to say, you find the ledge and you want to take out a target in front of it, you set up your bipod first. This is obviously going to net you a massive advantage because the gun's recoil rapidly decreases and the spread rapidly improves. That is to say, more accurate, easier to shoot, you're going to be able to down your targets quicker. The gun is, however, still not able to keep up with an LMG at medium to long range. There's no surprises there. The LMG simply has a better spread model for this, and most importantly, higher damage at range. This gun, much like the Hellriegel gives the assault class the opportunity to do decent damage at range, however not the opportunity to outperform classes that specialize at those ranges. That is to say, of course, the support class, the medic class, or the scout class, of course. With that being said, how do you play this weapon best? Well, essentially similar to the normal Hellriegel. You have the advantage of a bipod, however you can't really adapt your playstyle to that, simply situationally make use of it, and the higher recoil means that you are more limited in medium range engagements unless you set up that bipod, and this is my main difficulty with this gun. Why did it have to have so much higher recoil? The normal Hellriegel is already now in a relatively difficult spot regarding balance. On the one side you have the MP18 Trench and the Hellriegel, much lower recoil, much better at medium range combat for the assault class than the Hellriegel because of the Hellriegel's high horizontal recoil. In close quarters, shotgun and the automatical absolutely dominate the Hellriegel, so there's a very small engagement distance where it can really outperform the other SMGs, and that is just between the close quarter range of the automatical and shotguns and the range at which the 100 round fire rate difference between it and the MP18 and Hellriegel is good enough to actually give it the kill, net it the kill over the opposition weaponry. The same applies for the Hellriegel defensive, only more extreme. That is to say, actually, this gun isn't usable against the MP18 at any distance other than obvious extreme close quarter, those close quarter situations where a shotgun or a automatical will beat you out. That's not to say it's useless, it's just not actually competitive, if you so will. You can use this gun comfortably in close quarter to medium range. It's going to require a bit of recoil control. However, the most detrimental part of this recoil is essentially not controllable, and that is the almost 0.5 degree horizontal recoil. With that, you are simply going to have to live and learn to not engage targets at medium range that you may be able to engage with the Hellriegel 1915 factory version or the MP18 Trench, Hellriegel as well. It obviously is still going to perform better at longer ranges than the automatical, but that is a given. The people who truly will enjoy this weapon are those that currently struggle very much with the iron sights of the normal Hellriegel 19 factory and would much prefer an optic version. If you're willing to take into account a more limited engagement distance, then the Hellriegel defensive is definitely something for you. If you're looking for a more competitive gun, a gun better than the normal Hellriegel, well, sadly, this is a bit of a disappointment. With that being said, let me know down below in the comments if you've unlocked this weapon yet, how you found the unlock requirements. Did you find it as much of a nightmare to get those 25 mine kills as I did? In case you didn't notice, I'm a little bit sick today, so I do apologize for the relatively bad voice. But with all that being said, if you found the video helpful, leave a thumbs up, leave your video suggestions down below in the comments for any future Battlefield 1 content. And with all that being said, I'd like to thank you very much for watching and hope to see you in the next Battlefield 1 video.